Hello everyone, this is Shaitan bringing you another one of Stephano's replays, again from ESWC, the group stages. I don't know what game this is, but we'll go ahead and call it game number 1 on Tal'Darim Altar, a ZvZ between Stephano, spawning as the pink Zerg in the bottom right corner on Tal'Darim Altar, and sLivko, an Eastern European Zerg on the Rock's Kiss team. Spawning as the yellow Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner. So this is a ZvZ. Stephano thinks that this is his weakest matchup. I'm not really sure about how sLivko is in this matchup, but it is a very volatile matchup, and really advantages of only singular drones or singular units can make the difference in this game. And because of the interactions between Banelings and Zerglings, seeing how one Baneling can kill however many Zerglings are around it, you can get some really funky situations where control of your units is very, very important. We do see that Stephano is actually going to go for an 11 pool, it looks like. It's kind of odd where he's getting the pool after his Overlord. So I think what he wants to do is punish his opponent if his opponent was going to be going for a hatch first. But no, actually it doesn't look like that because he's getting gas. So maybe he wants to go for a very, very early Baneling. Baneling bust, some sort of Baneling harassment, which should be hitting a good amount. Let's see, his pool is about 30 seconds before his opponent, so we'll have to wait and see. But sLivko in the meantime is going for 14-14 Speedling opening. We'll see if he decides to expand to his hatchery afterwards. Really, the thing you want to be paying attention as a Zerg player to what your opponent doing is seeing when they pull guys off of gas. If they stop after 100, then obviously they're not going to be making any gas units. If they stay on there, expect Banelings or Roaches. But we do see that Stephano has finished his spawning pool, and he's not actually making any Zerglings. So I guess he just wanted to do this for a faster queen. It's very interesting. My guess is he might be hardcore metagaming his opponent here, expecting that his opponent would 10 pool, thinking that Stephano would go for the 15 hatch. And this would give him a very, very safe way to defend against that while having a little bit of a leg up, getting a slightly later pool. But that doesn't really make sense either, as a 14-14 Speedling opening is going to be safe against any sort of early shenanigans. But we won't really know. We'll see if there's some sort of edge he gets from this, but it doesn't look like it. He's making he has 4 lings on the way with 2 already out, and his opponent is going to be safe against this. He is getting the Baneling nest right now, and I honestly have no idea what Stephano is doing. We see that sLivko is getting a spine crawler there in his main to defend against any sort of Baneling. Stephano comes in, he sees that there is no hatchery, and then he immediately turns around. We see that there's a little bit of a Zergling altercation in the middle, but neither of them have speed. It looks like it's going to finish about the same time for the two. sLivko's is actually going to finish a little bit beforehand, a couple of seconds. And sLivko's going to have to turn around. We see that Stephano is actually getting his own Baneling nest, and he has 10 Zerglings on the way, far more than his opponent has, but his opponent is getting these defensive Banelings, so we'll see how this all plays out. It's going to depend on his control of these Banelings, making sure they're chasing around the lings, or maybe trying to get him to damage any of the Banelings of Stephano, as well as his control of this spine crawler, making sure that it's focus firing on the Banelings and not the Zerglings. But in terms of drones, we see that it's basically even. Stephano is down by 1 drone, but a lot of that can be attributed to the fact that he has been sacrificing a lot of his economy for these Zerglings. We can see that he's ahead in Zerglings. He was ahead in Zerglings at 13-11, but now it's even, and we see that he has the slight edge in Banelings. But really, he's just going in. He did detonate 1 Baneling for the cost of 2 Zerglings. Generally not a trade you want to be making, but with the Baneling advantage, you should be okay with that. And we see that he's kind of running in right now without really anything. But we do see that these Banelings are going in. It doesn't look like they're going to do that much damage. They did take out a lot of the HP on these drones, but unless he lets another Baneling in or has Zerglings come in, it's not going to matter in the long scale of things. We see that Stephano is going in with a couple of lings. He's going to kill. Looks like 2, maybe 3, no, only 2 drones were killed there, and so we see that Stephano has actually been droning up behind this, so he's actually ahead by 7 drones. He's getting his own spine crawler here to defend against the counterattack, and getting ready to take his own natural. But at the same time, he has actually backed off of his aggression. He's pulling back completely. He's allowing sLivko to take this hatchery as well. So it looks like they're going to be fairly even. sLivko doesn't seem like he's going to be moving out with these Zerglings, but really that's what you need to do in ZvZ, because there's really no unavoidable AoE in the matchup. You can always micro around Banelings. So if you overmake units, which is what sLivko has done here, you can always turn around and punish your opponent with it, whereas in ZvT or ZvP, if you overmake units, you might not be able to break the siege tank line, etc. But we do see sLivko is moving in. Stephano is well behind in Zerglings. He has 4 Banelings, however, to the 2 of his opponent, but he's actually going to lose, it looks like. No, he doesn't lose any of them, and sLivko needs to be careful not to lose any of his Banelings. 1 Baneling for each player detonates right there. Stephano is actually supply blocked. I'm going to guess he lost an Overlord somewhere, but that's going to be a little bit detrimental. But we see Stephano is actually transitioning into a Roach Warren. He has a Zevo Chamber up, getting +1 air range attack, while sLivko is actually getting a fairly quick lair. I'm curious to see what he's going to do with this. He doesn't have the Roach Warren up anywhere. It looks like he's clearing out these rockets. Always good to, do something with your Zerglings, but not just having them lie around. He should, however, be having something at this Xel'Naga Cavern, this Xel'Naga Tower. And in terms of spread, we see Stephano has fairly good vision of what's going on. sLivko has slightly poorer vision. His opponent could actually just run along this path right here and completely avoid all of his overlords and just appear at his base, which would be rather bad. But we see that on drones, again, they're fairly even. Stephano with a slight lead, but I think sLivko is going to catch up. Yeah, he's making a big round of drones right now, which are not out. Why would it seems like? Okay, so they're basically caught up. Stephano with a slight lead. It looks like he is going to have the upgrade advantage, with sLivko actually not really doing anything. He's building this spire, but he doesn't have gas, these 2 gases at his natural, and you're really going to want those gases to be able to get a significant amount of Mutalisks out, because right now sLivko is probably going to be able to get 5, maybe 6 Mutalisks out when the spire is done, but really with these 2 gases here and droning up a little bit more intensely, you'd be able to get 7, 8, maybe even 10 Mutalisks right away, and we see that he's getting the gas now, but it's going to be a little bit delayed. He's also spine crawlering up. You need to do this if you're going to be going for Mutalisks, because you're not really going to have any real defense other than some Banelings and mainly Zerglings with whatever spare minerals you have. But Stephano is aware of this spine crawler wall that his opponent is making, so I wouldn't be surprised if he knows that Mutalisks are on the way, and if he goes for a sick timing that is designed to hit right before the spire comes out, or ideally, or right after. So if it hits right before, his opponent is going to be forced to spend larva and resources on units to be fighting the ground army, which he would rather be spending on the Mutalisks. It looks like it's actually going to hit after the spire pops, so he's really just going to try and delay his opponent's Mutalisks from going into his base. Oh, actually, we can see that sLivko made 22 Zerglings, and so he doesn't have enough to get more than 1 or 2 Mutalisks. Stephano is going in right now, attacking into these spine crawlers, but pretty nice transfuse on the spine crawlers, keeping it alive for quite a bit. And Stephano's roaches are actually being whittled down. He only has 9 left. There's 3 spine crawlers left, but it looks like he's going to be able to break through this. sLivko has pulled out the drones, and he just didn't build up a Ling force. He didn't get his drones up early enough to be able to get enough spine crawlers here while he was affording the Mutalisks as well. He is getting 6 Mutalisks right now, which will slowly be able to clear this up, but it looks like Stephano's just going to be able to do too much damage before the Mutalisks clear everything up, and sLivko really should be GGing right now. We see in terms of drones, it's just plummeting for sLivko, and expect GG any second. Really just an unfortunate game for sLivko, as he wasn't able to really build up the economic infrastructure he needed to get these Mutalisks out in time with the defenses necessary to support them. So Stephano is going to take this game. He will go up 1-0 in the series, let's say. And we'll move into game number 2 now, or soon. I'm not sure what sLivko is doing. He has no drones left and 7 Mutalisks. He's going to fly over here, see if he can do a lot of damage. I think once he sees this Spore Crawler, he will GG right out. And he flies away. 1G game, perhaps. And Stephano takes the 1-0 lead.